My New Year's wish ended up landing me in the hospital. In my dazed state, I mistook the female doctor for a model. I even pulled out $800 and handed it to the beautiful doctor, asking to touch her sensual assets. However, she coldly pulled out her phone and contacted the psychiatric department to take me away. Yet, as soon as I was discharged and went to a bar to see some actual sensual assets, that same beautiful doctor eagerly approached me. "Miles? My consultation fee is only $60. You can do whatever you want." I only smiled and said, "Cheap things are never good. They say, if you eat 12 grapes and make a wish during the last 12 seconds of the New Year's countdown, your wish will come true." After getting off work, I rushed down to the fruit stand below my apartment. "Hey, can I get a bunch of grapes?" The owner picked up a bunch of Shine Muscat grapes and asked, "How about these newly arrived Shine Muscats?" I checked my phone clock. It was already 11:55 p.m. There was no time to think about the size of the grapes, so I quickly urged him, Sure, please wash them for me." After paying, under the owner's bizarre look, I crawled under the table and carefully counted out 12 grapes. I opened the countdown timer on my phone. When there were only 12 seconds left, I grabbed the grapes and stuffed them into my mouth, sincerely wishing as I chewed, "Please let me live a healthy life, get promoted, get a raise, and get a girlfriend who is more beautiful than a model with a perfect figure." Seeing only 5 seconds left, the grapes in my mouth were still unswallowed, while half of them remained in the bowl. Just tear my mouth open and eat. I want to live. I want a beautiful woman. I stuffed all the remaining grapes into my mouth and craned my neck, trying desperately to swallow. I had to swallow them all, otherwise, the wish wouldn't come true. In those few short seconds, I felt like the muscles in my neck were about to pop. Finally, I tried to force a swallow, choked, and felt my breath get completely trapped in my chest. I staggered up, pounding my chest repeatedly, but it did nothing. Pounding my chest, I cried out to the shop owner for help. Seeing me beat my chest, the owner's eyes crinkled with laughter. "You're a funny guy. Even if they're delicious, you don't need to beat your chest like that." I was so furious my vision went dark. I pointed at my throat and waved my hands. The owner seemed to misunderstand and waved back, wishing me a happy new year. It wasn't until my face turned purple that he finally realized I was choking and performed the Heimlich maneuver on me. At that moment, I felt like a pea shooter from Plants vs. Zombies, spitting out the grapes, one by one. "Thanks, boss." Just as I caught my breath, I realized what I had just spat out wasn't grapes. It was my wish. Immediately after, my eyes rolled back and I passed out. When I woke up again, my head was spinning. Looking around, I saw a woman in a white lab coat standing in front of me. Her features were exquisite, and her eyes behind her gold-rimmed glasses were deep and bright. Didn't I just choke to death? Does the goddess in heaven do cosplay? Since I was already dead, I figured I might as well lose all inhibition for once. I reached out and grabbed her hand. "Hey, beautiful, want to go on a date? I make $3,000 a month." The beautiful girl frowned and shook off my hand. I immediately pulled out $800. "Let me get a touch of your sensual assets." Her face flushed crimson, and she turned to leave. I quickly grabbed her coat. "Please. I've never dated a beauty like you before I died." Just as I was trying to figure out how to shamelessly cling to her, someone grabbed my arms from behind. I turned around and saw a chubby nurse, pulling me back. No matter how hard I struggled, I couldn't break free, so I started bargaining. "Not you, you're only worth $200 at most." The chubby nurse ignored me, unable to resist rolling her eyes. "Calm down, patient. This is a hospital, not some weird establishment." I froze, looking around to find myself indeed in a hospital. I didn't dare open my eyes, hoping it was all an illusion. Is it too late to die now? Before I could explain, The beauty in front of me spoke coldly. If he won't calm down, give him a sedative. Then transfer him to the psychiatric ward. Yes, doctor. Taking advantage of Dr. Willow's break, I rushed to her office. As soon as she looked up, I didn't give her a chance to reject me. Bowing my head, I apologized profusely. Dr. Willow, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have lusted after your body. Dr. Willow, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have mistaken you for an escort. Dr. Willow, I'm sorry, I like you. I quickly covered my mouth, my cheeks burning up. Stealing a glance at Willow, I saw the tips of her ears turning pink. Oh no, why did I blurt out my inner thoughts? Will she hate me even more now? Whatever, apologize first, ask questions later. I'm so sorry, Dr. Willow. Just as I was about to bow again, a finger pressed against my forehead, stopping me. I looked up into her complicated gaze. All right, that's enough. If you keep bowing like that, you're going to send me to my grave. She gritted her teeth. At that moment, my toes were practically digging a magnificent castle into the floor, out of sheer embarrassment. I turned to run, but she called me back. Overjoyed, I spun around. Miles, take this bill and pay your fees first. I took the slip. Looking at the amount, I couldn't help but cry out. $800! I muttered under my breath. Geez, that's enough to call a goddess over. Though I had never actually done that. What's wrong? Is there a problem? You're willing to shell out $800 to call a goddess, but complain about an $800 hospital bill. Willow seemed highly sensitive to that number, her tone turning a few degrees colder. No, not expensive at all, truly. Willow was way more beautiful than any of those goddesses. I dragged my feet back to my hospital bed, and a sudden idea struck me. I skillfully opened my chat with a tarot reader and transferred $188 via Venmo. Master, this time I want to ask about my love life. The reader accepted the money instantly. Following the usual routine, while silently chanting about the destiny between me and Willow, I picked 3 cards. I watched the typing, status anxiously. Not long after, the reply came, you and this girl are destined across 3 lifetimes. Your energy fields match perfectly. The better your relationship, the more her wealth and career will flourish. Conversely, it might drain your fortune. Why is that? I quickly wiped the grin off my face and asked, then what should I do? Sincerity moves even stones. Right. Bowing and apologizing was a small price to pay. For money and for the beauty, I made up my mind. I stayed up all night researching dating strategies. Sporting dark circles under my eyes, I met Willow as she came in for morning rounds. She frowned, looking at the chart in her hand. Miles, didn't you sleep last night? Is something bothering you? I tucked my head under the blanket and winked at her. I couldn't sleep because I missed you. Willow swallowed hard, her eyes darting away. The elderly man in the next bed laughed and asked, Oh, is this young man Dr. Willow's boyfriend? You two look so good together. No, he's not. Willow tried to protest. I quickly chimed in. Not yet, but I will be. Dr. Willow, want to go out on a date? Willow didn't answer. Her feet seemed to have jetpacks attached as she rushed out of the room. How could I give up so easily? Whenever I had free time, I would run over to Willow to get her attention. Dr. Willow, let's grab lunch together. It didn't matter if she ignored me. In fact, I liked it even more. Ignore me today, and I'll find you again tomorrow. Willow walked faster and faster, her face growing redder by the day. Finally, driven to her wits' end by my persistent tagging along, she snapped, Miles, what on earth do you want? I shamelessly leaned in. I want to date you. Will you go out with me? I'll be really good, I promise. No. To avoid me, Willow spent her entire day inside her clinic room. Afraid of disturbing other patients, I could only stand outside the door, staring through the glass to satisfy my longing. I had to admit, the woman I set my eyes on was breathtaking. When she wasn't speaking, she had an elegant, icy aura, But the moment she met with a patient, she transformed into someone else. Incredibly gentle. How could someone be so perfect, down to her very fingers? Staring at Willow's long, slender, soft white fingers, I couldn't help but sigh. So beautiful. That's the least of Dr. Willow's talents. I turned around and saw the chubby nurse, the one I had previously deemed only worth $200. Why do you say that? I asked humbly. She gestured toward the crowd of patients holding bags outside the door. These people traveled from far away just to have Dr. Willow save their lives. There are surgeries that only she can perform in this entire hospital. It turned out Willow was that incredible. I felt even harder for her. At 1 p.m., I showed up right on time to remind Willow to eat. She always forgot to eat when she was working, so I had to take care of my future girlfriend's stomach first. But when I reached her office, it was completely empty. Strange, did she go out? As I searched around, I faintly heard a commotion in the distance. Suddenly, a nurse came stumbling toward the front desk, trembling uncontrollably. "Security! Security! Hurry, second floor!" Her voice was thick with tears. "Excuse me, what happened?" I asked anxiously. "Dr. Willow? Dr. Willow?" My heart clenched. Without waiting for her to finish, I dashed toward the stairs. The closer I got to the second floor, the louder the shouting grew. My anxiety spiked. The second floor lobby was packed with people. In the center of the crowd, Willow was facing off against a woman holding a knife. "Please, calm down!" Willow kept her composure, trying to de-escalate the woman's emotions. "Calm down, my foot!" the woman screamed hysterically. "You said my husband was cured. Why did he die less than a month after coming home? You bunch of quacks." Behind her, a chubby female doctor stepped forward to explain. "Your husband hadn't fully recovered yet. It was your family who insisted on his discharge." Taking advantage of the distraction, the woman lunged, grabbing the doctor who had spoken up. "What's the point of saying all this now that he's dead? I want you to pay with your life." With that, she raised the knife. Willow was quick. She swatted the woman's hand away, pulling the chubby doctor back. Out of fear or an accident, the chubby doctor panicked and pushed Willow right toward the assailant. Seeing the woman swing the knife at Willow, and thinking of all the patients waiting for her to save them, I don't know where I found the courage. I burst from the crowd and threw myself in front of Willow. The woman was startled by my sudden appearance. The next second, she slashed her knife at me. A sharp, burning pain ripped through my arm, just as the security guards tackled the woman to the ground. "Miles, are you crazy? Do you have any idea how dangerous that was?" Her eyes red, Willow yelled at me while pressing down hard on my wound. My mind went blank. My legs started to turn to jelly. Shaken awake by her shouting, I let out a loud sob and burst into tears. "Don't cry." Willow held my wound with one hand and frantically wiped my tears with the other. "Ow! It hurts! Dr. Willow, gentle, please!" I yelled. "Good thing you still feel pain. You acted like you didn't care about your life just now," Willow said, her face grim. I reached out and gently grabbed her pinky finger, saying coaxingly. At that moment, all I knew was that if your hands got hurt, so many people would lose their hope. Willow's fingertips trembled slightly, the tension in her face finally melting away as her tone softened. "Even so, you shouldn't have just thrown yourself in. A fortune teller told me I'd live to be 100. Think of today as me earning some good karma." I squeezed out a smile, but the pain from the wound made me grimace. She replied testily, "Superstitious. Next time there's danger, stay away, okay? I'm your savior, you know." "Instead of comforting me, why are you so fierce?" I pouted, seeking comfort. She sighed and squeezed my hand back. My entire hand was enveloped in her warm palm, and my heart couldn't help but beat faster. "Ahem, all right." The senior doctor suturing my wound cleared his throat, shaking his head with a smile. "If you two want to flirt, do it somewhere else." Willow sheepishly scratched her head but didn't let go of my hand. Thank you, mentor. The older doctor took a good look at me through his glasses, then nodded. Your boyfriend isn't bad. Treat him well. Willow's face flushed crimson all the way to her neck. Her grip on my hand tightened instinctively. Doctor, he's not yet. I flashed a sweet smile at the senior doctor. Thank you, sir. As we walked to the door, the doctor called out to Willow. Oh, and don't forget to give him a tetanus shot. I held Willow's hand, our fingers intertwined, thinking this was another chance for physical contact. But once I followed her into the treatment room, I immediately regretted it. Pants down. I never in a million years expected that the first time Willow would see my backside would be for a shot. Good grief! Why did nobody tell me a tetanus shot goes into the glute? After my heroic incident, combined with Willow letting me boast about it everywhere, all the nurses and patients now knew I was Dr. Willow's future boyfriend. Dr. Willow's little boyfriend is here again. A familiar patient greeted me, and I smiled and nodded back. Willow's face turned red as she tried to contain herself. Miles, you shouldn't be doing this. I tilted my head and asked, what's wrong with it? If you don't like it, then it's bad for you. She avoided my gaze, trying to appear calm, but her slightly trembling voice gave away her nervousness. The more she acted like this, the more I wanted to tease her. It's not bad. In fact, I really like it. I stepped closer to her. Willow's ears flushed darker, and she quickly took 2 steps back. Miles, you can be discharged now. We can keep in touch via text from now on. Just 2 days ago we were holding hands, and today, it felt like my sky was falling. Willow was discharging me early just to avoid me. Did she not like me anymore? I packed my bags while complaining to my best friend, Ian. A top-tier beauty like her isn't that easy to chase. Besides, she never admitted she liked you, Ian teased. All right, Spill, when did you start liking her? I pondered for a moment. To be honest, it probably started with pure physical attraction. But the most important thing is, the fortune teller said, we have a connection across 3 lifetimes. I have to win her over. Ian snapped upright, hands on his hips, pointing at me. Miles, did you seriously throw money at that scammer again? Maybe? I didn't dare say a word and pretended to be busy packing. Ian poked my head. Did you forget you broke up with your ex because of him? I mumbled. Well, he said she was bad for my financial luck. If I didn't break up with her, what else was I supposed to do? So you only like Dr. Willow because of a fraud's words? You could say that. Although I was initially attracted to her looks, if it weren't for the fortune teller's words, I wouldn't have had the thick skin to pester her. Nor would I have gotten to know such a fascinating person. To shut Ian up, I quickly finished packing. At that moment, I saw a white coat flash past the door. Was Willow here to see me off? I chased after her, but seeing no one, I returned in disappointment. She was the one kicking me out. Why would she come to see me off? At the hospital gates, I still couldn't let it go. I sprinted back to Willow's clinic door. Since it wasn't consultation hours yet, I squatted right in front of her door. Just as my legs were turning completely numb, a gentle voice sounded from above. Excuse me, please move aside. I looked up in delight and locked eyes with Willow. Dr. Willow, about? I quickly stood up, but my legs felt like they were filled with popping candy. So numb I couldn't move. I tried to grit my teeth and step forward, only to twist my ankle. I fell forward, right toward Willow. Startled, she instinctively dodged. Just as my face was about to passionately kiss the floor, a small hand grabbed my waist. There was no romantic movie-style dip or sparks flying. I was hoisted up like a sack of potatoes by Willow, leaving me thoroughly embarrassed and breathless. Once I stood stable, the numbness in my legs still hadn't faded. In a panic, I wrapped my arms around Willow's waist. Wow, her waist was so slender! My hand accidentally slipped down a bit. She even seemed to have 11-line abs. Whoever gets to be her boyfriend is so lucky, I blurted out. Your waist is amazing. Willow pulled me off her face crimson. I didn't know how to explain, so I could only bow and apologize repeatedly. The clinic door slammed shut with a loud bang. I jumped. Why was she angry? I cautiously opened the door, but before I could speak, Willow coldly cut me off. Miles, a hospital is not a place for you to fool around. If you aren't sick, don't waste medical resources. I felt a bit hurt. I'm not. I just. Willow's voice turned even colder. I am a doctor. I don't believe in superstitions. I also have no desire to date. Please stop bothering me. I don't like you. Hearing this, I bit my lip, a wave of bitterness washing over me. If you don't like me, fine, but why be so harsh? You've fully recovered. Please leave. Willow dismissed me again. I just wanted to say a proper goodbye to you. The explanation stuck in my throat. Holding back my tears, I turned and walked away. Boo-hoo! She said she doesn't like me! I wailed, hugging Ian. Hearing my story, Ian covered my mouth and dragged me to a bar without another word. She's just a doctor, man. Tonight, I'll call over a bunch of girls for you. Doctors, flight attendants, whatever you want. I don't want them. I only want Willow. My eyes were glazed over as I kept downing drinks. I drank until I heard Ian gasp in surprise. Since when did we have such a top-tier beauty here? I followed his gaze and saw someone who looked exactly like Willow, standing in front of me with a dark expression. The gorgeous doctor? I shook my dizzy head and stumbled over to her. I smiled foolishly. Willow, did you take a part-time gig after work? Can I book you? Oh wait, that's not right. Willow must be busy saving lives. How could she be working part-time here? This model looks so much like her, but why is her face so dark? Why aren't you saying anything? Don't tell me you don't like me either? Annoyed, I gave her a gentle push. Miles, I never said I didn't like you. Huh. Even her voice sounded identical. My knees buckled, and I fell into her arms. Staring at the familiar face, I was dazed. It really was Willow. I asked sincerely, Willow, did you get fired from the hospital? Today is my day off, Willow said. Her cold eyes locked onto the woman sitting on the sofa. Miles, you paid $800 to call her over. What exactly can you two do? I counted on my fingers to explain. We can talk, drink, and play games. What did she mean? I was a bit confused. Didn't you say $800 gets you a touch of sensual assets? That was an exceptional price, Willow gritted her teeth. So you paid extra? Miles, my consultation fee is only $60. You can do whatever you want. Then take me home. I wrapped my arms around her waist, quickly waving goodbye to Ian, terrified she would slip away. I felt like I was dreaming. The last time I dreamed, I got nothing. This time, I had to seize the opportunity. Payment code. Willow, she wasn't going to change her mind, was she? Hurry up, your payment code. Seeing her make no move, I reached directly into her pocket. My hand brushed against something inside. Willow froze, quickly grabbing my hand. Miles, let me get it for you. Let go first. Her voice was raspy. No, I'll get it myself so I can be sure. Thinking she was going to back out, I pushed my hand in deeper. I couldn't help but mutter, Willow, why do you keep such a huge ring of keys in your pocket anyway? Miles, stop moving. That's not keys. Willow desperately held my hand, her throat moving slightly. Liar. If it's not keys, what else could it be? My eyes widened. Willow coughed violently. My mind exploded, instantly sobering up, my face flushing as red as a boiled lobster. Oh, my head hurt so much, I decided to close my eyes and play dead. Once we arrived, I ran inside as fast as my legs could carry me. Back in my room, I collapsed onto the bed, my heart hammering. Closing my eyes, countless suggestive images flashed through my mind. I already knew what I'd be dreaming of tonight. Good morning, Dr. Willow. Today's me likes you more than yesterday's me, I mumbled, opening my eyes, only to realize I was in my own room. Remembering last night, my face started burning again. Was it not a dream? I called Ian to confirm. Upon learning that Willow had indeed brought me home, I rolled around the bed in pure joy. As soon as I hung up, I saw a text from Willow. Is your head still spinning? Keep your arm wound away from water and stick to a light diet. If you go for a checkup and can't get an appointment with my mentor, you can call me. Message retracted. His slots are hard to book. Just come straight to me for your follow-up. No alcohol while you're recovering, and definitely no looking for other people. What I said yesterday, you can hold me to it anytime. Looking at the barrage of texts from Willow, my lips curled up so high they could barely be tamed. Looks like I'm about to escape singlehood. Act cool. I must act cool. I can't let yesterday's embarrassment happen again. Thanks for last night, Dr. Willow. After sending it, I locked my screen and threw my phone away, afraid I'd do something stupid again. Meanwhile, on the other end, Willow, having received only one text, was frantically refreshing her chat, doubting the hospital's Wi-Fi, switching to 4G, only to find still just one message. Did I say something wrong? Or is he bored of me? She scrolled back, checking the chat history carefully. I didn't mean to order you around. I'm just worried the alcohol will affect your wound. Do you feel unwell? Do you want a checkup? Don't take what happened yesterday to heart. I don't mind. Seeing Willow's rapid texts, I replied immediately. You're not talking much today. I couldn't help but laugh, a little heartbroken, trying to prevent getting addicted. Heartbroken over what? Take a guess. Thus, for the first time, the calm and focused Dr. Willow was stumped by a text. What exactly was he heartbroken about? 2 days later, I easily booked an appointment with the senior doctor. From him, I learned that he usually didn't handle minor things like stitches, but because he was known for leaving no scars, Willow had personally begged him to stitch me up. Hearing this, my heart swelled with sweetness. I texted Willow, letting her know I was coming in for my checkup. I wondered if she'd be startled to see me. I walked cheerfully toward her office. Passing the nurse's station, I overheard 2 young nurses gossiping about Willow. What boyfriend? They aren't even together, and he's already boasting everywhere. I grumbled internally while straining my ears to hear if anyone was praising me. Did you see him? Dr. Willow's boyfriend is so handsome. They match perfectly. Do you think he transferred his dad to our hospital because Dr. Willow works here? The smile froze on my face, my heart skipping a beat. Willow has a boyfriend? With a heavy heart, I asked the nurses, Excuse me, I just heard you say Dr. Willow's boyfriend is here. Is that true? Seeing me, they looked at me with deep pity. After all, everyone had seen how I pursued Willow. One nurse said regretfully, He must be her boyfriend. He just brought us fruit to thank us for taking care of Dr. Willow. Hearing this, the weight in my chest lifted slightly. Just another guy claiming to be her boyfriend like I used to. No one was better at this than me. As long as Willow didn't admit it, I wouldn't back down. I fixed my hair and headed to her office first, finally spotting Willow in a patient ward. I was still thinking about how to tease her later, when I walked in and saw a tall guy hugging an older woman, leaning his head on her shoulder affectionately. He choked out softly, Mom, don't worry about the surgery. Willow's skills are top-notch in the country. If you stay sick, how can Willow and I plan our wedding? You have to get well soon. My mind went numb. Willow is getting married? This must be a misunderstanding. It has to be. Willow hadn't said anything yet. But Willow's next words shattered my heart completely. Auntie, don't worry. I will take good care of you. Travis can rest easy too. I staggered back. My heart ached sharply, and tears welled up uncontrollably. As they turned to walk out, I awkwardly tried to slip away but twisted my ankle. Ignoring the pain, I limped away. After leaving the ward, the stinging pain in my ankle flared up. Pulling up my pants, I saw it was already badly swollen. A wave of grievance washed over me. I sat on a bench and buried my face in my knees. Damn you, Willow, you have a boyfriend and yet you still played with my feelings. Suddenly, a little boy poked his head out, staring at me. He asked in a childish voice, Are you crying? I sat up straight, quickly wiping my tears. The boy giggled, climbed onto the bench, and swung his legs as he asked, "Were you pretending to cry?" I almost laughed. I shook my head. "Are you sick too?" Looking at his bald head, a lump formed in my throat. My leg just hurts a bit. I watched him reach into his pocket and pull out a slightly melted lollipop. Dr. Willow says eating candy makes the sadness go away. Thank you. I took the candy, my eyes stinging. His small hand patted my shoulder. I should be the one thanking you. My dad said if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been able to get my surgery. I froze, a warm feeling spreading in my chest. I caught sight of the name on his wristband, Leo, meaning hope. You're welcome. Once your surgery is done, let's watch fireworks together, okay? Okay, the boy answered eagerly, pinky promising me. Miles, bye. Goodbye, Dr. Willow. I stiffened. Thinking of what I had just seen, I didn't turn back and limped away. Miles, what happened to your leg? I'm fine. You don't need to care. I endured the pain, walking faster, my face contorted in agony. Suddenly, a sigh sounded behind me. Willow stepped in front of me. You're still acting tough even though it hurts. I'm sorry, I didn't see your message earlier. Let me check your leg, okay? Willow coaxed gently. Fake. I was truly blind before. I coldly refused. No need. Dr. Willow should focus on her patients instead of wasting time on an unimportant person like me. Miles, I was really dealing with a very important patient just now, Willow explained urgently, grabbing my hand. Right, your future mother-in-law, of course you'd be in a rush. Dr. Willow, please let go. I struggled to leave, but she suddenly scooped me up in a bridal carry. I gasped in shock, instinctively wrapping my arms around her neck. Willow's action drew a crowd of stares. Her eyes remained fixed forward, her face and neck flushed dark red. Don't move, you'll fall. Dr. Willow, put me down, this isn't appropriate. My voice grew colder. She lowered her voice. If you keep shouting, the whole hospital will know about our relationship. Our relationship? I sneered. What relationship could we possibly have? Willow's face flushed even redder. I like you. What relationship do you think we can have? My mind went blank. If this were before, I would have happily bragged about it to the whole hospital, but now it just felt ridiculous. Just as I was about to snap, my eyes caught the lollipop in her pocket. Remembering the little boy, I calmed down. Could there be a misunderstanding with someone as good as Willow? It was best to ask her directly. I gave a soft huff. Seeking a bit of revenge, I grabbed her collar and buried my head in her chest, listening to her rapidly accelerating heartbeat. Willow, put me down first, let's talk, I squirmed. I was genuinely afraid she would carry me through the entire hospital. If that guy really was her boyfriend, his mom would probably lose her mind if she saw this. Seeing my resolve, Willow finally brought me back to her office to apply ice. She rested my leg on her lap. Looking up, her messy hair fell slightly, her eyes a bit dazed but focused. Willow, I heard everything. They're just spreading rumors, don't mind them. But it's only a matter of time. Hearing this, I immediately pulled my leg back. Are you really getting married? Willow froze, her eyes wide with surprise. You want to marry me? Isn't that a bit fast? She pondered for a moment, then looked at me seriously. Have you thought it through? No dating period first? My head was in a spin, completely speechless. Seeing my silence, Willow began planning in earnest. Actually, it's fine. We can meet each other's parents first, then register the marriage. As for the wedding, we can take our time. After I finish my remaining surgeries, plus my annual leave, we can get married in 2 months. Seeing her map everything out, I couldn't help but interrupt. Willow, bigamy is illegal. Willow froze. She couldn't help but ask, I'm only marrying you. How is that bigamy? Willow, I didn't expect you to be like this. You just promised that guy's mom you'd marry him, and now you want a quick marriage with me. Are you playing him or playing me? What guy? What bigamy? Miles, I have never lied to you. From beginning to end, the only person I like is you. Even if I get married, it will only be to you. Flustered, Willow broke into a sweat, her words scrambling. Back in the ward, that guy was hugging you. And he said you two were getting married. I heard it all. The more I spoke, the more aggrieved I felt, my voice trembling slightly. No, that's not what happened. Willow quickly stood up, her hand hovering in the air, wanting to pull me close but not daring to. He's my former classmate. His mom refused to have the surgery, so he asked me to help persuade her. I don't know why he suddenly leaned on me like that. His mom's condition is critical, and I was worried that denying it outright would trigger her. The moment we stepped out of the ward, I set the record straight with him immediately. Miles, seriously, you have to believe me. My heart thundered, and I didn't know how to respond. Seeing my silence, Willow raised her left hand. I, Willow Carter, swear, if I am lying to Miles, may I be struck by lightning? Before she could finish, my lips blocked hers. Her eyes widened, her entire body freezing. I believe you. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Willow's face flushed crimson, completely flustered. How could you? She stammered. On a whim, I leaned in and planted a quick kiss on her lips. I really wanted to see her flustered look. To my surprise, Willow reacted, cupping the back of my head to deepen the kiss. Staring at her face close up, the sound of our heartbeats swallowed me. Holding my burning cheeks, I winked playfully. Since you kissed me, you have to take responsibility. Willow's gaze was filled with tender affection. I will. I'll take responsibility for the rest of my life. It's a good thing the bone isn't damaged. Dr. Frost looked at my x-ray and sighed in relief. I looked around and suddenly noticed the doctor's profile on the door, gasping in surprise. Dr. Frost! You actually share the exact same birthday as our Dr. Willow. What a coincidence. It was just casual banter, but Willow, God knows what crossed her mind, suddenly asked about my leg injury. Dr. Frost, my boyfriend's injury is fine, right? Dr. Frost replied, Didn't you just diagnose him yourself? Willow sheepishly cleared her throat. I just wanted to double-check. With that, under Dr. Frost's puzzled gaze, she dragged me out. Back in her office, Willow turned and pinned me against the wall. Her eyes were slightly red, looking a bit aggrieved. Miles, Dr. Frost already has a partner. What does her love life have to do with me? I heard everything. You only chased me because of that fortune teller. And Dr. Frost shares the exact same birthday as me. What if you end up liking her in the future? I burst out laughing. So her sudden cold attitude back then was because of this. I took her hand and explained, Willow, chasing you at first did have a bit to do with the fortune teller. But during my time in the hospital, I felt like you were practically glowing. Everything you do makes my heart skip a beat. I like you, and it has nothing to do with any fortune teller. I truly like you from the bottom of my heart. Hearing this, the light in Willow's eyes grew brighter. She hugged me tightly. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. When Willow drove me home, I leaned close to her ear and whispered, Dr. Willow. So what is our relationship now? The exact relationship you're thinking of. And what exactly is that? I blew gently on her ear. Willow, flushed with embarrassment, turned her head away and mumbled, Boyfriend. So Dr. Willow, did you mean it when you said I could do whatever I wanted? My finger playfully traced circles on her chest, my tone suggestive. Willow stood up straight, her gaze burning. Her throat bobbed, her voice raspy. Miles, stop playing around, you're still injured. I only twisted my ankle, it won't affect your performance at all. I bit my lip, continuing to tease her, my fingers slowly moving downward. Willow finally gave in. The usually rational Dr. Willow completely lost control in bed. The bad news was, my back was nearly broken. On our wedding day, Willow bought me a copy of the Book of Answers. How should we spend our wedding night? Seeing the book's answer, my reflex was to run. What kind of decent book answers with, "Do not stop"? After that day, I blocked the fortune teller right in front of Willow. I never believed in those things again. The end.